We're going to talk tonight a little bit about graduation and the different pathways and all the fun stuff that go along with that. Last year they came out with House Bill 5. It was a big change in graduation. It affected a lot of things. It affected testing. It affected credits you need to graduate, all sorts of stuff. And so we put together a little slideshow kind of walking through what the new requirements are for your child to graduate. There are fewer in-course exams now, of course. One more time. We went from all of the ones you see in the gray to the 5 that you see large. We went from English 1, Algebra 1, Biology, World Geography, Reading, Writing, Geometry 2, simply English 1, Algebra 1 your freshman year, and Biology. Your sophomore year you'll take the English 2 EOC, and then your junior year you'll take the U.S. History exam. So some good things did come out of House Bill 5. A lot of people will tell you nothing good did. Well, I think anyone who's going to have to take those tests will tell you that there are several good things that came out of it. So the graduation plans have changed as well as the fewer inter-course exams. But now the old graduation plans, we had the minimum plan, the recommended plan, and the distinguished achievement plan. Those things are all gone away and now rolled into, bam, there we go. The foundation plan is your basic plan. In Red Oak, we start everyone off on the endorsements and distinguished level of achievement. Those are our defaults. We do not default to the foundation plan. Our kids are better than foundational. We're all gifted and well above average. So we're going to start everyone off above that when we have the foundation plan in case we need it. Then we also have the distinguished level of achievement, which is you do all the extra things. So if we click, we'll kind of go into a little more detail about those. And one thing that we're getting ready to do in the next couple of days is you get to declare an endorsement prior to beginning your freshman year. So as you start going through, you're picking out classes, you pick an endorsement or a track that you're going to follow through high school. And there are several endorsements you can pick. But there are several different endorsements that you can select as you go through. And as you look up here, you can see there's this STEM, which is Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And there are the courses that are involved in STEM listed underneath that. There's Business and Industry, and you can look at all the different courses underneath there. Public Service, Arts and Humanities, and then the multidisciplinary. The multidisciplinary includes just taking 4 credits in each of the 4 core areas. So basically it goes back to the 4x4 that we had before House Bill 5, where you take math, English, science, and social studies every year. So you'll get your 4 credits in the 4 core areas. But you can also take the 4 AP or dual credit courses as well for that multidisciplinary. You have to add those in there as well. So there's the different things. And then you look underneath business and industry, ag falls under that. It's communications, marketing, auto tech, information tech, all fall underneath that business and industry. The health sciences, ROTC or the public services, human services, law enforcement, and the different things that fall under each one of those. So what happens if you do change your mind? You just go see your counselor and tell them you change your mind, and then we adjust your schedules over the next couple of years and your 4-year plan and we get it fixed. You're not locked into what you pick as a freshman. So you can change your mind if you want to. Just let us know so we can get your courses worked out so we get you through on at least one pathway. All right, performance acknowledgements. If you're in a dual credit course and you're in bilingualism or biliteracy, if you do well on an AP test or an international baccalaureate exam, we do the AP test and we do the IB exam, or on the PSAT, the ACT plan, the SAT, or the ACT. The ACT plan is now expired, correct? They changed that name for us just to get us all confused. Or if you graduate with a business or industry certificate, and there's all sorts of those that you can get as you go through Red Oak High School. So, what are the next steps? What do we do? How do we get our schedules for our 9th grade year? The classroom guidance started yesterday. Today, you were at the lovely elective fair. The counselors are going to do online registrations and online endorsement selections with you beginning of March the 24th through the 26th. Your endorsements will be signed and accompanying in online registration during the summer. And that should be the summer of 2015. And then in August, you'll pick up your schedule. If you have questions, there's the counselor's office phone numbers at the junior high and at the high school. You can go to the web page. There are presentations like this there. There's other information about the endorsements, what all is involved with your endorsements. Your counselor is going to be a tremendous resource for you. That's one thing we're blessed with in Red Oak ISD is we have fantastic counselors. who do a much better job of presenting this information to you than I do. So we're really blessed to have good counselors. So I would encourage you, if you do have questions, send them an email, drop them a line, give them a phone call. They're great about getting back to you, and they have wonderful information. And then you can go to the website here at the bottom, redoxd.org/grad plans, to kind of walk you through the different graduation plans if you want to go back and take a look at your own page.
A few things I want to wrap up before you leave, and then I'm going to turn the microphone back over to Dr. Funk and to close, is the junior high counselors work very closely with the high school counselors on preparing them with their course selection sheets and guiding them through classroom guidance. They've been with them this week, sharing information with them. Next week, Ms. Brady and I will come over, and we will also meet with the 8th grade students in the computer lab, where they will have their course selection sheets, and they will begin to download the courses they would like to have and that you have agreed upon, because this sheet needs to be signed by you, and they will select the endorsement. As Dr. Funk said, the endorsement can be changed. If in their 9th grade year they decide they took a course they no longer were interested in, they need to make a final decision by the sophomore year, because they have to complete certain number of courses to be able to receive an endorsement. And most of our students will receive more than one endorsement by the time they graduate. One specific endorsement will be in their career interest area that will lead them into whatever it is they want to do after high school. So be looking for the course selection page. I want to encourage you also, if you have any questions about anything in the course guidebook, about the presentation tonight, about the course selection page, you are most welcome to call me here at the high school. Just call the main number and they will transfer you to my extension. You may also call the junior high counselors, because they work closely with the high school counselors. Also, the new course guidebook for the 15-16 school year can be found if you go to the Red Oak ISD district page, click on the Parents tab, and several buttons or tabs will open up. It says 14-15 course guidebook, but if you click on that, you will find the 14-15 guidebook is loaded there, along with our brand new 15-16 guidebook, which has a few new courses for freshmen this year. Again, I want to thank you for coming, and I'm going to turn the microphone over to Dr. Funk. And please encourage your children to bring those course selection pages back by next week, so we can start loading that information into the computer lab. Thank you.
One last thing, I would encourage you to look at that course catalog with your students, and don't wait till the last minute, because if you think back to whenever, if you're as old as me, whenever you think back to high school, there were a few electives. And now, when you start looking at electives, there are pages and pages and different career paths and all sorts of things like that. So don't put it off to the last minute. Open it up and sit down with your student and actually talk about the things that are in there, because their eyes may be open to something completely brand new to them, completely brand new to you, and it's something that they're really passionate about. So I just encourage you to spend a little time with your student on that. Actually sit down and have a discussion with them. It's amazing some of the things that you find out whenever you're talking about something that you have to talk about, because a lot of times they won't share unless we poke and prod, and even then it's like pulling teeth. If you do have questions, again, our counseling staff is second to none here in Red Oak, so call the high school, call the junior high, call me, and I'll do my best to patch you through to a good counselor, because I don't know all the answers, but we can sure find them for you. But take time, visit with your student, find out what their interests are, and let's get them put the right path, because 4 short years will be here before you know it. They'll be graduating.